This separation was not punishment. It was protection. God did not break your circle to hurt you. He shattered it to save you. You thought you were being abandoned, but heaven was making room. You called it heartbreak. God called it holy extraction. Was it betrayal, or was it birth? Was it loneliness, or was it the wilderness where mantles fall and voices echo? You keep asking why everyone is leaving, but the question is not why they left. The real question is, what are you becoming? By the end of this message, something sacred will be unsealed. A hidden reason behind the people you've lost, the isolation you didn't choose, and the ache you couldn't explain. And when that mystery is revealed, you'll never look at separation the same again. Welcome to Chosen One's Prophecy, where the hidden are remembered and the marked are awakened. Here, we don't give you answers. We uncover the scroll you've been carrying in your spirit since the beginning. Joseph was separated before he was seated. Misunderstood by his brothers, sold into obscurity. But heaven called it positioning. Genesis 37:20 says, "Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns. Then we'll see what comes of his dreams." But what they tried to bury was actually the blueprint of survival for a nation. So I need you to stay, because what you're about to hear may explain everything. The rejection, the betrayal, the silence, the severing, the walk away you didn't ask for. Stay, because the signs that are about to unfold may explain your entire life. The separation is a sign of the call. God does not separate what He does not intend to sanctify. If you felt the ache of disconnection, from friends, from family, from familiar places, it was not random, it was prophetic. The chosen are always separated before they are sent. Abraham was called out from everything familiar before he could be called into covenant. Genesis 12:1. "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Notice, God doesn't even name the destination, because the destination was never a place. It was a posture of surrender. You've been wondering why it feels like everyone is drifting away from you. It's not because you failed. It's because you carry something they were never meant to protect. What's inside you is holy, and holiness attracts separation. You weren't left behind. You were pulled ahead. Not everyone who starts with you will walk with you. Not everyone who celebrates you can carry you. Not everyone you love is safe for your next season. So the separation came, not to punish you, but to prepare the room. And now, you're standing in a silence that only the chosen understand. Obscurity is God's training ground. Before God announces a voice, He hides it. Before He trusts you with nations, He tests you in shadows. David was anointed king, then sent back to sheep. Jesus was the Word made flesh and waited 30 years in silence. Moses had the fire of destiny in his bones, but was exiled for decades. Why? Because silence is where the noise dies. And when the noise dies, God speaks. You've been overlooked, misunderstood, misread. They thought your silence meant you had nothing to say. But God was writing scrolls in your spirit while they talked. Luke 1:80. "And the child grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the wilderness until he appeared publicly to Israel." That was John the Baptist. Hidden, growing, becoming. So if it feels like no one sees you, take heart. Heaven sees you becoming. The silence wasn't absence. It was divine surveillance. Let it echo in your bones. God is not late. He's just never rushed. And while you've been mourning the loss of connection, He's been perfecting your consecration. Fire reveals who's truly with you. Pain strips away the polite. Betrayal burns away the shadows. When God is ready to reveal your real circle, He allows the fire to fall. Lot walked with Abraham until the land couldn't carry them both. Their separation wasn't a fallout. It was a fulfillment. Because Lot couldn't walk into what Abraham was called to carry. Sometimes God removes people to remove limitations. Your trial wasn't just a test, it was a torch, and when it burned, it revealed who could stand the heat with you. Jesus had to endure Peter's denial. Joseph had to survive his brother's betrayal. David had to escape Saul's spear. And you had to feel the sting of silence from those who promised to stay. But here's the mystery. God let it happen, because what they tried to destroy in you became the very place He would dwell. You weren't broken, you were branded. So let the fire come, let the false fall away. What remains is holy, and what's holy, He will send. Spiritual consequences of staying too long. There is danger in delayed obedience. When God says go and you stay, something dies. Maybe not all at once, but slowly, quietly, dreams fade, visions blur, and before you know it, you're surrounded by voices that dilute your destiny. Jesus Himself could do no mighty works in His hometown. Mark 6-5. He could not do any miracles there. He was amazed at their lack of faith. Even the Messiah was hindered by familiarity. So what makes you think staying close to comfort won't cost you your crown? This is not a call to abandon. It's a call to align. You're not being asked to hate them. You're being asked to obey Him. Prolonged proximity to misaligned people delays divine positioning. How many assignments have died in rooms that felt safe, but were never sanctified? If this resonates, comment 4444 right now as a prophetic sign you are still listening and receiving. You're not alone. And this word is your confirmation. Darkness targeted you. Early because you were marked. Early, the enemy didn't wait until you were ready. He came when you were vulnerable, because hell knows what heaven has hidden. Before Moses could speak, the decree went out to kill Hebrew babies. Before Jesus could walk, Herod slaughtered the innocent. Before Joseph could rule, betrayal knocked at the door. This is not coincidence. It is confirmation. The attack came early because your calling came early. Why were you the black sheep? Why did you suffer what others escaped? Why did your soul carry battles too heavy for your age? Because you weren't just a child. You were a carrier of the covenant. Hell saw what others missed, and it tried to destroy the scroll before you knew how to read it. But it failed, because you're still here, and what was meant to kill you has only awakened you. The warfare was a whisper of your worth. Now, hell fears your awakening, because once a chosen one knows who they are, they cannot be stopped. Supernatural authority is found in obedient isolation. You wanted comfort. God wanted consecration. Authority doesn't come from affirmation, it comes from obedience in the unseen places. Jesus came out of the wilderness in power, not because He shouted, but because He yielded. Luke 4:14. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about Him spread. Notice, the power came after the wilderness. You've been walking alone, but that path has power embedded in it. Every lonely step is activating your jurisdiction. You're not just surviving, you're gaining ground. Your silence has made you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. When the crowd left, your discernment sharpened. When the comfort vanished, your anointing increased. And now, heaven is trusting you with what others would have mishandled. Heaven's assignment requires earthly separation. God will never assign you to what you're unwilling to leave for. Some missions require a clean break, because God isn't just sending you to speak, He's sending you to shift atmospheres. And you cannot shift what you are still entangled in. Moses had to leave Egypt before he was sent back to deliver it. Jesus left the crowd to climb the mountain and hear the Father. Abraham left Lot, and immediately God spoke again. Genesis 13:14. After Lot had gone, the Lord said to Abram, "Your next instruction is waiting on your last obedience." The people God is sending next will not question your call. They will guard it. They will honor it. You're not just leaving people, you're leaving permission to be misunderstood. Go where your calling is not crushed by familiarity. Let this be the moment you stop apologizing for your assignment, because the next chapter of your life requires your full yes. The rise of the remnant. You are not alone in this walk away. All over the world, chosen ones are hearing the same call. Leave, detach, separate, consecrate. A holy remnant is rising. Not perfect, but purified. Not popular, but marked. They're not found in the spotlight. They're being forged in the silence. They don't need applause. They carry authority. You are one of them. And when this video found you, it wasn't an accident. It was a divine signal. You are part of the generation that carries fire, not followers. So breathe. The loneliness was proof you were being gathered, not forsaken. What happens when the remnant finds each other? What happens when the scattered stones become a temple again? Stay with me, because what comes next will echo through generations. Echo activation. What you carry must multiply. You thought this was just about survival, but survival was never the goal. Multiplication is. Every scar you carry is seed. Every silence you endured is oil. Every separation you obeyed is strategy. God never builds a chosen one just for themselves. He builds them for nations, for timelines, for echoes. Isaiah 55:11 says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth, it will not return to me empty." When God speaks through you, it is not for applause, it is for activation. You've been carrying a mantle and wondering if it matters. But there's someone waiting on the sound of your voice. Someone bound by the same chains you once broke. Someone searching for the same light that once found you. And when you speak, not perform, not pretend, not preach. When you speak from the wilderness, chains will break in places you'll never visit. What you survived is someone else's deliverance code. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of your legacy. Because everything God did in you was never meant to stop with you. It was meant to echo across bloodlines, across continents, across centuries. You are not just a chosen one. You are an echo from the future, sounding through the bones of history, calling others home. You thought God was removing people, but He was revealing purpose. The subtraction wasn't loss. It was alignment. You were not abandoned. You were anointed. Hidden in plain sight, separated to be sanctified, misunderstood because you carry something only heaven could confirm. And now, chosen one. You're not at the end. You're at the threshold. The season of silence has passed. The wilderness has done its work. The fire has refined you. And the next voice they hear will be yours, carrying the weight of everything you endured. You have been called. You have been cut. And now, you are being commissioned. This is your moment of sacred release, a crossing over, from connection to calling, from comfort to covenant. You are not who they remember. You are who God revealed. If this word confirmed what your spirit has been carrying in silence, comment 777 now. Not for me, but as a witness before heaven that you received this scroll. Tell us below, what part struck deepest? What echoed inside of you like a forgotten memory awakened? And if you know this wasn't just a message, it was a marking, subscribe to Chosen One's prophecy and stay connected to the remnant rising across the earth. You are not alone. You are the next echo.